Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Samcrac, and today we're gonna find out whether or not this RS7 trunk hurts when it hits you in the head. Ow! It does hurt. Wow, that didn't go at all like I planned it to. I think that serves as a good intro. All right, now I'm a little bit more calmed down. You guys might remember when I got my Audi RS7, that one of the things that did not work was the electronic, what is this thing called? I want to call it a liftgate, but it's not a liftgate, it's a hatch, because this is a hatchback. The electronic hatch did not work in this car. It would either stay completely open when you'd hook the shocks up, and when I just disconnect the shocks, it would close completely, in which it weighed like 1,000 pounds, and it's really, it doesn't really weigh 1,000 pounds, but I have to lift it up by hand, and it was really heavy, and I'd have to stick, a piece of wood or something to prop it up while I was working, and then it turned into a guillotine. So anyway, today I want to show you how I repaired the hatch of my RS7. It was way easier than I thought it was, and now it works, and I'm gonna do this before I get hit in the head. Voila! And before we get into that repair footage, I'm really excited to show you guys our latest sponsor, the Ridge Wallet. Ridge Wallets are super premium RFID minimalist wallets made out of materials like carbon fiber, titanium, and aluminum. I love this carbon fiber one. It matches the interior of my RS7 perfectly. So click the link in the description box below and find a Ridge Wallet that fits your style. Now check it out, we have red seatbelts. This was kind of contested a little bit, but the poll results came in, I think like 70-30 or 80-20. People wanted red seatbelts in the RS7, so we have red seatbelts, and hey, they actually work now. My airbags hook these things up, and they're completely rebuilt. They work perfectly, and actually I started installing them in the rear here as well. I think I got this side as well. Yes, I did. We got red seatbelts here. I think they really complement the red accents in the interior. So sorry guys that think that this is a ricer move. I've personally never ever seen colored seatbelts on a Civic. I have, however, seen them on Porsches and Lamborghinis. Way earlier in the rebuild process, one of the things I anticipated being the most difficult was getting this electronic hatch to open and close again on its own. As you can see, when I lift it up, there's definitely a problem, and when I push the button to have it close, it's trying to do something, but it's just not working. Now when this hatch was completely stuck open, there's a lot of resistance trying to close it. One day, one of you guys wrote me and said, hey, try and close it manually, see what happens. And when I felt that it closes like this, you can see it's just not smooth. I figured that those shocks are just completely blown from the rear end impact of the accident. So I called the previous owner and I asked, after the accident, did the electronic trunk work properly or not? And his answer was no, it never did after the accident. And he didn't do anything. He didn't do any of the disassembly that you see here. So the only culprit could be a blown shock. So this should be a pretty easy job. I've got two replacement shocks here. These things run about 500 bucks from Audi. I lucked out and only paid $40 for one side, paid about $100 for the other side. Those are both used from eBay. So let's get in here. Let's disassemble these shocks. They just come out with two bolts right there. And let's switch them out, see if this fixes our problem. Don't do what I do. Don't use a broom to prop up your Audi trunk. Let me see something. Okay. I would tell you that things feel a little smoother, but I don't want to break a new set of shocks. Let's see what happens when I press this button. Ooh, something's happening, but it's definitely confused about the position it's in. And the one thing that is a definite fact is my old shocks, one of them's in the car and one of them's there. they're shorter in length if you were to measure them, probably because they were crushed inwards in the accents. So I'm gonna try and force this down, and it's much, much smoother. And let's see, okay, the trunk itself is closed. Now, I got the key in my pocket here. Let's see if that did anything. Let's hope that did something. Open trunk. Ooh, look at that. Oh. Now, right there, I think this is a safety feature from Audi, and like it's like a height thing. So if you're shorter, you can set where you want the trunk to, okay, maybe not. Basically, I've read that you can push the trunk manually to where you want it open or closed, and then close it from there, and then the car will remember. So I'm gonna just push it a little bit. Okay, it's opening, but it's gonna wanna close. It's gonna wanna close. All right, I'm a bonehead. Somehow I got these two sides mixed up, and now they're in the right place. Still, this trunk, now it will close and open actually, although not entirely. It's giving me a little bit of trouble. It's not closing completely flush on that side. That could be an alignment issue, but there, oh, see, it's still doing this funky open halfway thing. I think the main issue right now is that I've got 3 out of the 4 bolts in. I'm missing 1 bolt on that side. Goes next to that silver one right there. Remember to breathe deeply when you're attempting Audi trunk yoga, and oh boy, I don't think this is gonna work out. Come on, son of a gun, I'm almost there. Oh, there goes the seat. There it is. All right, I've got it. Kind of where I need it. Let's see here. I'm losing strength in my leg here. This is going the right way. Woo! Check it out! Audi trunk yoga, it works. The trunk is now propped up. It was just the one missing screw that was keeping it from staying up. The liftgate really does weigh a lot, so if you do not have all the fasteners in place, it does not want to stay up. So now that it's all the way up, let's see what happens. Oh, you son of a, come on! For those of you wondering why I was just doing that ridiculous thing, if you look at this black bolt right here, that is what was missing. In order to screw that in, the trunk lid had to be pushed all the way up. The bolt hole will then line up with the bracket behind it, and then I could screw it in. And that was really the only way I could physically figure out how to do it by myself. It is completely closed. Now, we're gonna open it. And let's see, come on, don't stop. Oh yeah, check it out. Okay, that's great. Now, come on, do it all the way. What is your problem? Why are you doing that? All right, I look like a two-time idiot. The reason why it wasn't closing all the way is because the rear seatbelt, I just have it kind of loosely in place because it was hard to slip in with the trunk in the position it was in when we were working on all this stuff. So anyway, I shoved it where it belongs. It is now in the right place. And so one last time, we open it up. And then we close it.
A great success!
With the hatch functioning properly, that's one more major step in the completion of this rebuild project. And at this point, there's just a little bit of work left to complete this car 100%. Now, this video was actually supposed to be how I reset airbag lights. I was gonna go in, finish up all the SRS system repairs, being those red seat belts that I showed you earlier, and then doing a final check on the system and clearing the lights without disassembling the interior any further than it already has been. And well, I found 2 missing airbags, which is really, really disappointing considering that there was no airbag deployment in this car, and I know that based on the previous owner's story. I think that those airbags were removed with a ton of other parts that I've already kind of told you guys about, and it's really just some stuff that was completely unnecessary and setting this project back just a little bit. And some of these parts are really hard to get. The airbags that they removed are not even in stock anywhere in the United States. For those of you wondering about the Ford Focus RS rebuild, I saw the car today at the body shop. The framework is almost finished and I will be getting it home very soon. Once we get it home, we should be able to knock out the front end, and then we might actually paint it ourselves or send it away for paint. I'm not quite sure yet. Guys, I really appreciate you watching today. If you had fun with this video, be sure to hit that like button. I want to give a big thanks to Ridge Wallet for sponsoring this video. Be sure to check them out. The link in the description box below. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you very soon.